Here's a time-lapse of this cute set that I made just in time for Halloween. So I started off with making these blood drops. I made them with UV resin, some wire, and then I put them under a UV light to cure. This is how they came out after I cured them, and I was pretty satisfied with them. I then went on to do my blood jars. Again, I used the UV resin and I put it from the top edges so it looks like blood was spilling out of the jars. I didn't really like how the blood drops look, so I went back in and I used some red paint to paint them to make them less transparent. Then I put blood in the little jars. I used fox blood and I made sure that they weren't all the same level of fullness so they looked different from each other. First, I am cutting out the foam that I'm going to need to put inside my ears so they have structure and they're more sturdy. I also cut the black fur, which is black, and then for the front fur, it's going to be white. After everything is cut out, I go back to the foam to make sure that I trim off a little more so the foam doesn't hit the edges, and then I glue all the wire I need to the foam and then glue it all together to the ears and construct them all together. After everything is glued and put together and dry, I go ahead and I shave and trim the fronts and the backs. Shaving and trimming will always be the bane of my existence. I low-key hate it. After shaving, we're on to airbrushing. I use one color for the base and then I use a mixed color for the shading to make it more three-dimensional. I also learned to brush the ears and shape them while I'm airbrushing them so they look way better and more kind of like 3D realistic-ish. After airbrushing the main components, I then go do the edges so they match the back fur and it looks all clean. So I made some blood splatter ears before last year and I used a fan brush, but it didn't work, so I tried using a regular paintbrush. As you see, it doesn't work. So I found out that if I get a straw and I put paint in it and blow it, it makes the splatters way better, so I do this a couple of times. I also, for some reason, tried to splatter the blood with my fingers, but that didn't work, and again, it didn't work with the paintbrush because it wasn't very flowy. Then I was done with this, and I was satisfied, and I was so happy with how they turned out. Look at them! I love them! Now I am on to making the chain for the tail I worked on. It took me an hour and 30, so I'm just measuring it all to making sure that it's where I want it to be, and it is all good. I never worked with chain like this before, so this was a very big new experience for me. Then after the first row, I see where I wanted to put the blood jars, and I go in again with another row of chain. Putting the jars were a bit difficult because it has weight to it, so I was struggling a bit, as you'll see here. But I made it work. I got it to do it, so that's what truly matters. I then added some more chain because I didn't really like how short it was, and then I measured where else the blood jars were gonna go and I added them on. After the blood jars are on the chain, I then go in with my little blood drops. And here it is. It is complete. This will be released on my shop page on October 4th at 1 p.m. PST. That will be on a Wednesday. And I hope you enjoyed watching my progress. Bye bye!